Welcome to Tales of Anosmia, and it's Anosmia Awareness Day! Yay! So in honour of the occasion, I'm going to talk about why we don't talk about anosmia. Because of my birth trauma, it was kind of obvious that there might be a problem later on when I got a bit older, so when I was about 4 or 5 and I was able to convey to my parents that I wasn't able to smell, they took me seriously and did some tests at home of getting me to smell the contents of some paper bags and tell them what was in them, which I obviously couldn't do. Being taken seriously at home made it that I wasn't afraid of telling other people about it because I wasn't worried about people not taking me seriously. I can't remember exactly how it came up, but I found out that the dad of one of my best friends at primary school had no sense of smell. Just knowing somebody else who was clearly functioning as an adult kind of made me feel like it wasn't a big deal. It was rather comforting and stopped me feeling different. When I started high school, I retreated into myself quite a bit, as a lot of teenagers do, and the idea of drawing attention to myself in any way was just awful. So in an attempt to blend in, I just didn't talk about my anosmia. It wasn't that I was denying it, I just didn't talk about it. I remember a science class when the teacher had mixed some chemicals together which produced an odour and then started to bring it around the class. I was the first student that he came to. Now, I didn't want to have to tell him that I couldn't smell in front of the whole class, because, oh god no. So I just sniffed it and pretended that I could smell it, pulled a bit of a disgusted face and prayed that was the right reaction. Thankfully it was, or that would have been even more embarrassing. Because of my refusal to even mention my anosmia, I had friends in high school who I'd known for 4 or 5 years who had no idea that I couldn't smell. So when they found out, they felt like I didn't value them as friends because I didn't share this really important part of my identity. My confidence in myself had improved a bit by the time I reached 6th form, so when my biology teacher did a little demonstration of diffusion by having some chicken poo at the front of the classroom, I didn't pretend that I could smell it. I was right at the front of the class, and even when the students at the very back had put their hands up and covered their noses to indicate that they could smell it, I still didn't have my hand up. This confused my teacher a little bit, but when I said I couldn't smell, he just accepted it and moved on. No big deal. Another reason that I didn't talk about it was because I was worried about how people would respond. That people might say, oh well, that's not a real disability, it doesn't make your life any more difficult, it's nothing compared to other things that some people have, what are you complaining about? I've never actually had anyone respond in this way, but I still have a fear that they will. It's hard to know how much of the population is anosmic because it doesn't really get talked about, but there have been studies that have estimated it to be about 1% of the population, and maybe up to 20% having some level of reduced sense of smell. That is so many people. So let's talk about it. Whether you were born without a sense of smell like me or lost it later in life, it comes and goes randomly, or you just have a reduced sense of smell, talk about it. Tell people. Tell your friends and family. Write a comment in response to this video. Make your own video in response to this video. Tweet about it. Anosmia should be as well known as deafness and blindness. It affects so many people. I think it's really important to get people talking about anosmia, and hopefully this video will reach a few people who've never heard of the condition before. And if that's you, I guarantee you've met at least one person who has some level of smell loss. But you probably never knew because we don't tend to talk about it. It doesn't come up in conversation a lot, and it feels weird to say to someone you've just met, so, I have no sense of smell. Not really a conversation starter. I used to shy away from mentioning my anosmia, even at a really opportune moment, but I don't do that anymore because it's a part of the problem. How do we expect people to know we exist if we hide? This has been Tales of Anosmia. I hope you have a great Anosmia Awareness Day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!